Yo, back for another episode of ET Angling, people. ET Angling. First of all, I want to thank you guys for checking out my first videos. My first two videos I did with the winter jig fishing and drop shot video. It was real important to me to do that. Moving up a little bit in the YouTube channel. I want to thank my subscribers, all you guys who subscribe. Just keep helping me out, promote everything I do on this channel. This channel is real life. It's not no altered video footage, none of that. But today I want to show you guys a couple finesse things that I use in the wintertime and how you can rig these up. And it should help you a lot. So we're finna get straight into it. One of my viewers asked me to make this video because he's just not getting into fishing. Actually my stepdad, David, I want to give a shout out to David. I also want to give a shout out to One Rod, One Reel Fishing. He's real popular on YouTube, and he added me. He subscribed to my channel today. Well, and I was already subscribed to his channel, and it's kind of incredible how I just started and he noticed my channel. And I appreciate that. One Rod, One Reel Fishing, Mike. If we can get together and do some fishing anytime, you can email me or anything. My email link will be it'll be in the description below. If you want to email me, just let me know, man. We can get out and do some fishing. We can do a nice collab. We can go on a couple road trips whenever you got free time and do some fishing. Got two different jerk baits. I got a darker jerk bait and I got a lighter jerk bait. Check out some cotton for my rug on this one. So this is one of the ones I use. It's pretty good, and I have caught a couple fish. I've been to hooks out on this jerk bait a couple times. This is a jerk bait, and I just basically tie a simple knot. I'm gonna show you how to tie the knot when I tie the knots on the other ones. And this is another jerk bait, which you can actually see the hook kind of bent out at the back. And I don't know if it's focusing. But let me see if I can get it to focus. And it's kind of the hook, you can see in the back hook's kind of bent out. And I caught quite a few fish on this jerk bait. It has a little rattler in it. This one also has a lot of rattle in it. And I actually changed the hooks. You notice the hooks on this one is bigger than the hooks on this one. And that kind of helped my hookup ratio for a lot of the larger fish. These are good wintertime and springtime tactics. You can throw this jerk bait out there, you can reel it down and jerk it. But one thing about the jerk bait, you always want to get the rod back. So if you jerk it towards you, you don't want to pull it and keep it towards you. You want to kind of jerk it and get a rod back, like a jerk it and get a rod back. And that'll get that jerk bait to do what it's supposed to do. Another thing I use is a square bill crankbait. And this is a larger square bill crankbait, and I use this when I'm fishing around a lot of rock. And I use the jerk bait when I'm fishing around a lot of points or like off creeks and stuff off the main lake. And that really works well. I slam a lot of bass on that. But when I'm fishing like a bluff wall or a lot of rock, I throw the square bill out here. Help me cover water. Kind of get the reaction strike when you're looking for actively feeding bass, and that always works well. Another thing I use is a deep diving crankbait. This is a Strike King deep diving crankbait, 8 to 12 foot. And this one thing I use for if I'm using a fish finder, like a deeper or eye bobber or something like that, and I find a lot of fish in deep water, which is like 12 to 14 foot of water, I throw the deep diver crankbait out there to try to get a reaction strike out of that. And basically I just basically reel it real slow across the bottom, just moderate retrieval. And sometimes I give it a little jerk. It just depends on how the fish feel. You gotta find that cadence. And once you find that cadence, you can use that cadence the whole day, and that's basically with the fish keying on right then, and that'll work also. I kind of use this with my finesse rod, spinning reel combo, and this is a very small jerk bait. It's a very small jerk bait, and I basically just reel this down and jerk it and give it the imitation of a dying shad. Sometimes I add lead tape to it to make it suspend a little bit more, but it also has a little small rattle for it. And this is really a bait for numbers, not for quality fish like large fish. And you can catch a lot of fish in a day off this if they're keying in on small bait fish, or they're keying in on small shad or little bluegill or something. This would be a good bait for it. And I got another one just like it, and it's a white and black, and it's a small jerk bait, just like the larger jerk baits. Just like if I was to show you the bigger jerk bait, this is the actual bigger jerk bait, and this is a small jerk bait. So these key in on numbers, and these basically key in on quality, larger fish that you might be interested in catching. So there's one bait that is really effective. It's a little black and blue finesse jig with red eyes, and it's so small. It's like a 5/16 ounce of a jig, the finesse jig. And I got this one from Walmart. It was really cheap, like $5.99. I got 2 of them in a pack. And this is another finesse jig, almost like a swimming jig, and I got a crawl trailer on there, Christy crawl trailer with yams, and it's really good, really good. And I could just swim this through the water. And with the first jig I had, with the 5/16 finesse round head jig, I just basically hop it off the bottom. I just kind of let my rod like kind of hop it off the bottom. I don't jerk it too hard. I just give it a little subtle jerk, so it'll get those claws from the Christy crawl an opportunity to stand up underwater. And you can basically just drag it across the bottom. You can hop it, you can swim it, you can do a lot of stuff with a jig. A jig is a versatile bait. You can use it winter, spring, summer, and fall. You can use that bait any time of the year. It's a really good bait. So first I'm gonna start with the knit rig. So you can use almost like a jig head. You can use a shaky head. You can use any kind of weighted head hook. And basically, I'll take this worm off this drop shot and show you how to rig an knit rig. So basically, I have my worm, whether it's a young dinger, whether it's whatever kind of worm you want to use, Gary Yamamoto worm, whatever kind of worm you want to use. And basically, how I rig a knit rig is, I'll take that worm and I'll stick it straight down the center, straight down the top and straight down the middle, and I'll go around and go around until that worm kind of curves on that hook like this. That worm will curve on that hook like this, and then basically what I'll do is I'll push it down a little more. It depends on how long the hook is, and you'll just pop it out and slide it up till it's holding on there, and you got your knit rig right there. A lot of people don't use the knit rig for like longer worms. So basically, a knit rig would be a half size worm. You can take this worm, you can cut it in half. So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna cut it in half, which would be an actual knit rig. But I tend to get more bites on the longer worms, or they'll like the flash from the longer worms or the action. So I just take it and I rig it just how I rigged it the first time. And this is what you might call your actual knit rig. There's no designated way to rig a knit rig, but with the worm sticking out the side, it's completely a knit rig. So I have this worm and I'll be bouncing this worm around, and it's a smaller bait. That's what they want you to do in the wintertime. You're supposed to downsize the bait, because the fish doesn't want to chase. It doesn't want to chase. It doesn't want to hunt. It just wants an easy meal. So you just bounce this off the bottom. Just bounce it off the bottom like that, and it'll make that worm stand up and wave in the current. So fish will come and they'll hook it in. And it's a great way to catch fish. Nice hook set on this on the Ned rig. And one thing you want to get when you're wacky rigging is a wacky rig tool. And it comes with, you can buy the rubber bands separate. They sell them at Dick's, they sell them at Bass Pro Shop, they sell them at Cabela's. And you can buy them separate just to replenish your amount of rubber bands that you want to put on your worms. And this is basically a wacky rig tool. And this is basically a field and stream wacky rig tool. I'm going to show you how to use this to keep from losing so many plastics and keep from buying so many plastics. A watermelon seed chartreuse tip yum dinger right here. And I'm just going to hook this up. Basically how I do the wacky rig is, a wacky rig is you want to rig it through the middle. So when you rig it through the middle, right through the middle with that worm will get this kind of action when it's in the water. And when you rise it up, it'll just go. And when you drop it down, it'll go. So I mean, it's just like a bird moving its wings, like a bird flapping in the sky. So basically, I'll just take this and I fold it in half. Fold that yum dinger in half. That way I know symmetrically where the middle of this worm is. So the middle of this worm is about right here. I take it and I hold it right here. I take that worm and I stick it in the end of that wacky rig tool, right there. Stick it in the end of that wacky rig tool, and I slide it down to my finger. And I take the rubber band at the top, and I just basically slide one rubber band, or two, however many you want to use. I just basically take it and slide it all the way down that tube until I get to where my finger is. And I basically just slide it straight on that worm. So I slid it straight on that worm, and basically it's on that worm. And as you can see, it's directly in the center of that worm. So I'll take my hook. In this case, I'm using an Eagle Claw bait hook. You can use whatever kind of hook you want. You can use wacky rig from any kind of company, or you can use drop shot hooks from any kind of company. It all works the same. Some just stand up a little to the challenge more than others. So I just take that Eagle Claw hook, and I'll basically hook it right under the skin of the worm on the left side of the band, and then I'll pop it out on the right side. So now I have a worm that looks like this. And when I'm bouncing it or when I'm swimming it, it just goes like this. It just flaps in the current. And this is a great tactic. Like, bass cannot deny a wacky rig worm once it lands right in their face. They just have to eat it. And the way they're gonna eat it, they're gonna eat it either like this and get hooked, or they're gonna try to eat it across the top and suck that worm in their mouth, and they're gonna get hooked. Now I'm finna go into a drop shot. So I'm finna take a little bit of this line. I'm gonna use the same drop shot rig I got right here. I'm just gonna take it off and I'm just gonna retie it. I wouldn't suggest biting it with your teeth because it could damage your teeth, could damage your mouth. I just basically use a pair of scissors when I'm out. So I'm gonna take this line, this side being the line towards the rod and this side being the tag end. And basically what I'll do, I'll put this line right through the front of the hook. So the hook would be, if you're holding it like this, the hook will be facing you and the outside will be facing the other way. So I'll put it straight through the front. Bam. And depending on how long you want your leader to be, you can slide it all the way up, you can slide it all the way down, depending on how long you want your leader to be. But I'm gonna do it about halfway. And I'm gonna take this line and I'm gonna right over left it, keeping a finger in that loop down there. Keeping the finger in that loop down there, I'm gonna right over left it, and basically I'm gonna tie it just like I tied the last knot. Spin it around, spin it around, spin it around. You can spin it around as many times as you feel necessary, but I'm just gonna do it for a small amount right now. And I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna stick it back through that loop. That you got your hand separating the other line from the other line. And I'm gonna pull it down. and it'll come down like this. So right now it's not completely tight, but you want to make it tight. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna put my finger on top of that knot and I'm gonna cinch it down. Then I'm gonna take my hand and I'm gonna tighten it up. And then once you're done with that, you'll have it standing straight up. But sometimes on some line it won't stand straight up like that. So basically what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your tag in that you got, your leader in, and you're gonna take, before you tie your weight on it, you're gonna stick it straight back through the front of that loop. Grab that in, take your hook, and stick it straight through that loop that you just made by sticking it through the eyelid. And you're gonna pull it, and you're gonna cinch it down. And that'll basically make your bait stand straight up. You can do it as many times as you need to. And it'll basically make your bait stand straight up. So when it's in the water, it'll lift that bait up. Bam, and it'll be flowing in the wind freely. And basically you're gonna take your weight, whatever weight you use. I'm using a regular weight. It's not a designated drop shot weight. It's just a weight I found that was small, that had a loop in it, almost like a drop shot weight. I'm gonna stick it through that loop, and I'm gonna tie the same knot I just tied, and I'm gonna spin it around right on the left, spin it around right on the left, and I'm gonna stick it back through that loop so I can cinch this knot down. So I'm sticking it back through that loop, cinching the knot down. Bam, got the knot cinched down, and all I have to do is tighten it. Pardon me, my hand's a little sweaty right now. Cinch that knot down and tighten it some more. So basically what I got right here is a drop shot rig. So this is your drop shot rig. But a lot of people like to nose hook it. And what I mean by nose hooking it, you can take the bait and you can stick that hook straight through the nose of that bait. Just like that. And you'll have your bait looking like this. It'll be offset, it'll slide from side to side. That's why I kind of don't like the nose hook, but it works the same. It just waves in the wind, just like this. Waves in the current, just like this. But basically what I do a basic Ned rig. A Ned rig is just sticking it straight down through there. Coming down a little bit. Not like a Texas rig, you're gonna come down more than a Texas rig until you get that worm curving like that on the hook. You can come down a little more, however you want to do it, and you just pop that hook out. Bam. And basically you got a Ned rig. So instead of the fish having to swallow the whole worm to get to that hook when it's nose hooked, it could just swallow half of this worm and get hooked right there semi-middle. And that's basically a drop shot. And basically the current will push that worm in the current, and it'll look like it's an actual worm just swimming. So that's the drop shot rig. So now I'm finna go into a Texas rig. So here I have a 4-aught offset hook, wide gap, and luckily I have a young binger. And the way you want to rig this Texas rig is, you have this worm young binger, and it has a slit right there in the middle. It has a slit right there. And basically all I do is go to the opposite side of that slit and I rig it. I put it straight down to the top like I would a Ned rig. And when it starts to get to that curve right there in the hook, I just take it and I just pop it out. Bam. And I bring it up and I twist it around. And I just basically twist it around until the slit is facing the outside. So the slit is facing the outside, and I just twisted that worm around, and I'm just gonna basically slide it up on that hook to where it can hold that worm on without it constantly sliding off. So I got it on there and it's not going anywhere. It's offset from the actual hook. And I basically bunch it up a little bit like that, and I just feed it through the worm until it's basically like this. And if you had a line on there, you could slide that worm up a little more to make it a little bit straighter. And so you got your hook sitting in that slit right there on the offset, and when the fish comes to bite it and eat it, you'll have the hook pop out. Fish will clamp down on that wide gap hook offset, and that hook will come right out and it'll hook straight into the fish. And that's your Texas rig right there. And Another way you can Texas rig is do exactly like I just showed you, but instead of using that slick or that cheat, you can take the worm and you can stick that hook straight in the worm, straight in the side of that worm. And that's an easier way to do it. So now I got that hook sticking straight in the worm. So when the fish come bite it and clamp down on that worm, the hook will just pop out just like this into the worm, into the fish mouth. Because the bass is real powerful, so you don't have to worry about the fish not setting the hook. Another Texas rig way I want to show you, if you got screw-ons for your offset hook. So I got an offset hook here with a screw on the top of it. And basically all I'm going to do with this screw on is I'm going to take this worm and I'm going to stick the pointed end of the screw into the worm first, right at the top where I would stick the hook in. And I would basically turn it up until it's straight, and I would corkscrew that worm right on top of it. And that helps hold the worm on a lot more if you would just using an offset hook. Not saying the offset hook is no worse or any better. And I would basically just rig it like I would rig the Texas rig right in that slit. And I got a good yumdinger worm right there that won't come off because that's holding that on. And I got the hook kind of sticking out a little bit. And basically I just take that and I just kind of stick it in the skin of the worm a little bit right there. So when the fish come bite it, bam, the hook come right out on them. So you don't have to worry about that. So as of now, I'm going to get right into the footage and show you guys a lot of the footage I caught from yesterday. If you like it, man, subscribe, comment, like, whatever you want to do. Let me know what you think, stuff like that. Pretty soon I'm going to start doing some giveaways with a lot of the baits I use, a lot of baits I have. I have a lot of extra stuff and I don't have anybody to give it to. So I'm going to be doing some giveaways real soon. So comment, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think.
This is a cold war. Do you know what you're fighting for? This is a cold war. Do you know what you're fighting for? This is a cold war. Do you know what you're fighting for? This is a cold war. Do you know what you're fighting for? What you're fighting for? Cold war. Do you know what you're fighting for? This is a cold
She's hot, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot. She's hot, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot.